Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Rhys here from More Than Lifting, and this episode of the blog, I'm back at my vital metrics for a little update post-lockdown because aside from my hernia, I've developed a nice little bit of belly fat. Let me just show you quick. Very sexy. So we're basically gonna find out what our numbers are, me and Dani, who's currently manning the phone, so we can work out what our starting point is with this, which is the Dexa machine, which I went to before if you've seen the other episode. So I'm quite excited to get on here and find out how much fat I've put on since I've been locked in the flat. And basically that's going to start off the next phase of our training, where we're going to see over the next kind of 8 to 12 weeks how much fat we can lose, how much more muscle we can put on, and stuff like that. It's always good to get accurate scans. So if you're in and or around London and you're looking to get this kind of information, you can go to My Vital Metrics, contact my mate Owen to sort you out, and get your own numbers tracked as well. Very important. All right, let's get started.
Measurement starts now. Your weight is 56.75 kilograms. Your height is 161.6 centimeters.
Oh my god, I'm so
Your
tiny.
body mass index is 21.7. The measurement is completed. Please step off the platform.
I like a okay.
Some sort of tight bun or something.
It's bun time. I mean, I don't want to show with like a really hairy back, I think. It would be weird.
It upsets all of the measurements, so it's important that we do it as a bun.
So it looked like a cape.
It will look like
Basically.
and we won't be able to kind of see any of the contours of the back, so we won't be able to assess your posture,
Oh,
left
okay.
and right, and things like that. So, yeah.
Should I get is it fine with the top or should
That's
I get
fine
in
with
with
the top.
okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
Okay. So in you go.
We're basically going to take my height and my BMI and my weight accurately. Then we're going to do a 3D body scan in this lovely photo booth. And then we're going to dive on the Dexa and we're going to have a look at some results. Alright, I've packed on a little bit since lockdown. Mostly because I've been a lazy bitch. But hopefully it's not going to be too disappointing.
Okay, Rhys.
Okay.
So, onto the scales if you would first.
Okay.
Please stand upright and look straight. Your weight is 77.55 kilograms.
I've lost weight.
Your height is 172.
I've got shorter.
Centimeters. Your body mass index is 26.1.
What did it say? 172 point.
Please step off the platform.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the height.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so next
26, is that good?
BMI. Oh, we don't really talk about BMI.
I know.
Okay, if you step into the box for me.
Okay. This is the best part of my day, this.
Okay. So your unit code at the moment is 9582.
9582.
Yep. So if you
Ah.
just hit
Code 9582. Enter. Oops, sign in. Right, I've got to take my pants off, it says.
no, it doesn't. It definitely does not.
Put the handles down and get dressed. I've never felt the need to wiggle around so much. It said it starts counting down and it goes, right, we're gonna take the measurement now, and I just wanted, like, suddenly my whole body's moving like that. I've never been so aware of it.
Okay.
Hopefully the numbers are good. We'll have a look at that in a bit.
Straight onto the Dexa.
Dexa.
Okay. So head that end and face up if you would.
Okay.
Oh, great position. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're not scanning yet. When this reaches your head, it'll scan in 3 passes, down, up, and then down again. It'll take about 3 minutes, and during that time, just remains.
It's so exciting. I feel like I'm floating.
Yeah. And you can just get
Sorry.
yourself. My head's too big. You can get yourself dressed.
Got my clothes on.
We'll start with the 3D scan. Quite a nice looking statue there, Rhys. Okay, so we've got all of your circumferences, so we can kind of track those at a time.
Yep.
Shape-wise, we can kind of also see just how things are going.
There's my hernia.
That's your hernia there. You kind
I thought it was this one here.
of,
That was a hernia.
That's your arm.
I know, yeah.
Okay, now interestingly, let's take a look at the posture. So, left to right. You're actually looking pretty even, I think. There might be a slight raise to your clavicle on your left side.
That's the one. So my left one is the one that I haven't. This was my rotator cuff injury.
Okay.
So that makes sense because I think my right shoulder's actually dropped a little bit since then, and the top bit, the connection to the clavicle here, actually sticks up. So I think that'd be a bit more of an angle.
Okay, but it's very, very minor. I mean, if we just take a look at the back, actually you can kind of see that you've got slightly more of a curve there. So there's slight more either bulk or it's just being held a little higher.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit more stable.
Yeah, on that side. So, but I mean, in terms of your head position, your head is positioned
Right
very,
in line with my bum.
very centrally, which is good. Yep. Yeah, you're not off to one side at all. Okay. Left.
Which I know I definitely have been before from the X-rays of the chiropractor.
Okay.
So that's good.
Oh, well, that's good. So things have kind of corrected themselves then since. Okay. Fab. As I would expect, your kind of front to back position is great. Okay, so your ear is right in line with the acromion process. You've got good soft curves.
That's muscle.
In your in your neck and in your lumbar spine. Interestingly, your lumbar spine does look a little flat there. Normally I would expect a bit more of a curve there.
Yeah.
But
I think literally my paraspinal column is quite meaty.
Right.
So that might just be because of that. You don't notice my spine trench.
Yeah.
Look at that Beyonce going on there. You see that? I'm right. Some squats, that is.
Okay. This does give an indication of body fat. It's not really, what we're going to use. So we'll, But overall, posturally, everything looks great, left to right, and front to back as well.
Perfect.
So, well done.
Nice.
Okay, so let's get to the good stuff. Okay, so bone density wise, don't usually comment much on this, and your bones are absolutely fine. Okay. As they were last time. So
yeah,
no change there.
I think they just looking at that number, that kind of 1.1-ish kind of area is about where it's almost exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, bones take a long time to change density. You would need some major hormonal changes or complete lack of use in order for your bone density to change much.
Okay, cool. So lockdown hasn't had much of an effect on my skeleton.
Well, that's good.
That's a bit of a relief, yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried they're going to end up hollow.
Okay, so we'll start just by talking about the raw figures, and we'll talk about we'll do this in conjunction with the last time. So so this is the raw figure. So you're 15.7%. Okay, which is
that's fast.
well, keep in mind that's still very, very lean. So you're in the top age match. You're in the top 16% of people as far as leanness goes for your body fat percentage.
I think it's the highest I've ever been.
But so if we compare this to where you were on the 27th of January, you were 9.38% at that time.
Naughty cookies.
So in kind of total naughty cookies. In total, what's kind of interesting here is that you've put on almost 5 kilo, well, five and a bit kilos of fat. Interestingly, you've also increased 323 grams of muscle.
Oh.
Okay, so you've increased your muscle
By carrying the extra meat around.
Well, I mean, what this says to me is that your calories have been quite high.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a lot less exercise.
Yeah, and I think also the nature of the exercise being, as it was, not kind of maximal lifts and things like that,
Yeah.
means that when the excess calories have mostly gone on as fat rather than kind of a whole lot of muscle.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I expected.
Okay. But it's we're talking January to August. Okay, so it's kind of it's quite a long time. B, there was 18 weeks of lockdown during that. This is not hugely surprising, and it's a fairly common pattern, to be honest. So let's have a quick look at how it's all distributed. So arms 13%, so you're slightly leaner in your arms, okay, and in your torso actually. So 13% in your torso. In your legs, 19.5%, 18.5%. So you're holding your mass basically in your hips and thighs.
Okay. Like
Okay.
the Giet.
Oh, girl.
So,
Beyonce.
Right. So your android to gynoid ratio. Okay. So this is the ratio of fat in your midsection to the fat around your thighs.
Yep.
Is 0.8. Now for men, there isn't a right figure. Okay, doctors always like to see it lower. Generally, men would prefer themselves to see it a little bit higher, unless they're really the real problem with this is when it's over 1.
Okay.
So
And
over
that
1
would suggest like an estrogen dominance or something like that.
No. So sorry. So around like 0.5, that's an estrogen dominance.
Ah, okay.
So I when it's getting down to those figures, then I kind of suggest people get some blood tests to find out what's going on. Above 1, it just means that any fat that you're putting on more fat around the midsection
Yeah.
than around your thighs, and that has a problem for visceral fat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, so visceral fat obviously is the inside fat, it's the stuff that you can't see, and it is heavily implicated in cardiovascular disease and high cholesterol and high blood pressure, a whole lot of things. The points at which it becomes dangerous are at 500 grams or at 100 centimeters squared.
Okay.
So for you are kind of well below both of those figures. So,
But still quite high, maybe. Or maybe not based on what my fat is now, but probably higher than I might want.
Possibly higher, given how much I know you exercise. Probably a bit higher than what I would have expected, to be honest. But the thing is about visceral fat, it tends to be the first to go on and the first to come off.
Okay.
Okay, it's called brown adipose tissue, so it's got a
Yeah.
very, very thorough blood supply.
So it gets destroyed once you start working.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's also inside. There's a thorough blood supply. It's right next to kind of key organs that metabolize it, so it does drop very quickly.
Okay.
I would say this was probably a very recent phenomenon for you. I think it's probably only gone up even to these levels, which are, like I said, absolutely fine, very recently, and they can probably come down further, quite easily as
Yeah.
well. So your lean to height index, okay, so this is the amount of lean mass that you've got for your frame, for your height. For men, I like to see this over 20, you're 21.5. So you've got a really solid amount of lean mass on your frame. So that's all really great.
Okay. Obviously, we want that up though still.
Uh,
What's the kind of max range maybe that you think?
What for? Well, I mean, it's kind of down to the individual. It's like how
Okay.
much do you want to put on.
Okay.
you might find at certain points that your body refuses to put on much more.
Yeah.
I would imagine that like 22 and a half might be the point at which your body sort of says that's enough now.
Yeah.
So
I'm not looking at like maybe increasing that to 30.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Cool. So it'd be just small increments.
I imagine I'd have to get some figures, but I imagine that your Mr. Universe type people would be around 30.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
12 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. You can do it. Okay, let's look at some lean balance. Okay, so your right arm, you've got about 200 grams more muscle than your left. Okay. That's well within the normal range. That's 200 grams is about 5%. That's absolutely fine. Everyone's more dominant in one arm.
Yeah.
It just happens.
I think it was probably about the same last time as well.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe a bit more even.
Possibly even more.
So I was training more.
Okay. But yeah, I mean it's not at a level that would cause you any pain patterns or future problems.
Walking in circles.
Yeah, walking in circles. Well, that would be your legs. So legs, 300 grams difference. Okay, so about 3%. So really, absolutely fine there as well. So relatively even both legs and arms. I mean, given that you've had injuries as well, which was on your
right arm,
right arm, it's actually doing really quite well. All things considered. So, and this indicates that you're not leaning over to one side for your squats or anything like that. So, what's fantastic for you is that you have got a really solid 63 kilos of lean mass. Okay, that is a furnace.
You know what, mate? That's it.
That is a furnace, and that will, if we can kind of look at when you put that to full use, when you kind of as I know you are, back to full training at the gym with weights, putting that to use, that is going to burn through
calories,
your fat, like nothing else.
Yeah,
so,
I know my fat's high at the minute, but I'm not really worried about it staying.
Yeah.
I know once I get back to training, once I get my hernia stabled.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, this is it. You've got to kind of take all of these things in context.
Yeah.
Nothing is by itself. Plus, without access to a gym and all of that. So 12 and a half, I mean, so last time, you were sitting around 8 kilos or less of fat. So you've put on a bit, but it's gone on fast. It can come off fast, to be honest. So overall, I mean, probably not the results you were hoping for in terms of.
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
because I know I haven't been doing nearly as much. Like I was basically active 16 hours a day before, and in that time doing at least an hour of training for myself. So I wasn't really. I obviously wasn't expecting like 9% or 8 or 9%, which is what I'm used to, because obviously just don't say anything about it. I'm very sensitive about it, and so it was just interesting to see what it would be, and find out exactly like what the numbers were, so I can quantify it. And then when I go back, I'd be like, well, bitch, that's 8% body fat in 12 weeks. Well, maybe not that much, but like maybe I want to aim for like about 8%. Get right back down there.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, like I said, with that much lean mass, you can get there easily, and I know. So it is possible within 12 weeks. I mean, 5 kilos of fat in 12 weeks. That as you know, that's half a kilo a week roughly. That's actually, if you work kind of at 100% efficiency and manage to not lose any of your lean mass, that's absolutely achievable. That's it would require a concerted effort. I mean, it would be fascinating to track you through that. But yeah, it could absolutely be done. And then you'd be up for literally one of the sharpest drops in body fat that I've seen over 12 weeks.
Got a Hoover and a knife at home. What's there? Get it done tomorrow.
Another option.
Yeah, like I say, I wasn't worried about it, but I was just really interested to see what that number was.
Yeah.
Like really interested. So 15.7, you know. So,
So like I
my
say,
finger in.
you know, I think you can shift that.
Yeah.
You know.
What's going on, guys? So we just left my vital metrics with our Am I Sexy certificates. Turns out I'm not.
But I am.
But Dani, you did alright, didn't you? Yeah, so my results, I was expecting them to be a little disappointing, which they were. But that's okay, because that's just the cost of lockdown, and now we just gotta get on with it, get it fixed, and get it sorted. Get back on that sub 10. I'm on an 8, nice 8% soon as. And Dani, you got no work to do, have you?
No, I've got to build some muscle mass, so I got to be doing a little bit more weights and getting stronger again at the gym.
Which is just really turning up.
Well, yeah,
innit?
I mean, it's
That's it.
what I had to do either way.
So yeah, happy days.
With his mask.